On Williamstown, which they weren't doing in the first quarter, but and that was full credit to Bendigo. But since then, sharing the ball, and that's where you see the stats with the handball up 62.
All right, Peter German addressing the troops at three-quarter time. Let's go to his opposite number and see if he can find a miracle at three-quarter time. Hayden Skipworth in the Bendigo huddle.
To take the game on, okay? No getting back off the mark, nothing like that. Take the game on, okay? What does take the game on mean? Give me some. Off the line, that's one. Will, decisions on the turn. Fast possession, overlap, handball. Okay, handball receive. Midfield stoppages, third man up as much as you can. Sure? Yep. You want to go on the ball? Yep. And your job is to get third man up as much as you can, Trav. Yep. You communicate with him, okay? Let's get the ball going outside wherever it is. Let's make sure we have a call. Let's make sure we have a call. And let's get the ball on the outside. If not, Trent, you're getting the ball to the outside as well. If we can go third man up, we do it. If not, Trent's third man up, okay? We cannot go back into defence now. It's all out attack. It's where we're going to lose by 10 goals or come back in the game, okay? Take the game on. If we can kick the first couple, let's see how they respond. They're going to go very, very safe, very defensive, and that's when we just keep coming at them, boys. That's how we're going to push up. Boys, 30 minutes. 30 minutes to go of your whole season. Think of all the work you've done, okay? All the rehab, all the training sessions in pre-season, all the training sessions during the year. 30 minutes of footy to go. Yeah. Give it everything. Don't look at each other at the end of the game and shit, I could have given a bit more. This is a quarter to stand up and look at each other in the eye and give you something, to give the team something.
Come on, boys. It's coming from us now. Let's go. Come on.
Well, that's exactly the message that Hayden Skipworth needs to impart, because, as he said, it doesn't matter if you lose by 10 goals, 12 goals. You've got to give yourself a chance of winning.
Yeah, probably the only thing I was sort of listening then and thinking 30 minutes to go and the season's finished. I mean, 30 minutes to go. You don't want the season to be finished, so.
But he was repeating exactly what you were saying. I don't know whether he's got an earpiece up.
Well, look, it's basic football. I mean, you know, 30 minutes. You just got to give it all, and you know, it doesn't matter if you get beat by 20 goals. You have a go, and you walk off proud, and you know, you're playing in a final here. You know, people want to play good individually, but you want to play good as a team as well. So you give it your all in finals.
Well, if they wanted to find out what Williamstown's going to do in the last quarter, they probably should have gone over to the huddle, because as we can see,
they could listen. The wingman could probably listen in there.
If someone like Dermot Brereton would probably just go and stand at the edge of the huddle and try and listen to the coach.
What, not run through it?
Well, no, I think he's mellowed in his old age now. That was only from the young, abrasive Derm. Certainly
I think it's still young, abrasive Derm, isn't it? I don't think he's like Peter Pan. He won't grow up.
I'm trying to butter him up. Anyway, the huddle is finally broken up, which means that Phil Cleary is making his way towards Peter German. Let's hear what the Williamstown coach has got to say at three-quarter time.
You took your time with the boys then, Peter, but you'd be quite happy, wouldn't you, after the first quarter?
Yeah, but I think, 16 times to 9 inside 50, we just didn't get our rewards that quarter.
Your pressure, though, momentum, you seem to get a lot of energy going into the game.
Yeah, we did. We got a bit more flow on, which allowed us to obviously get the ball a lot more inside 50. So, look, I've been pleased with probably all those aspects, the clearances, the 50-50 balls, but we just got to make sure we use the ball better, Phil.
All the best, Tim.
Peter German sprinting off the ground after having a chat to Phil Cleary, who's doing likewise, but I must say trailing in Germo's wake. There is the coach making his way up.
It's not your Olympic type time, is it, Pete?
Probably not, no. But, well, it's going to take something very special from Bendigo. We've already mentioned that, and there just can't be any hesitation at all. A 10-goal defeat is exactly the same as a 1-point defeat, so they've got to dare to dream here in the final quarter, otherwise their season is going to be over. Is Williamstown headed towards a semi-final next week? We're about to find out. Box Hill in front of Sandy in the other game at Trevor Barker Beach Oval. Willie 30 minutes away from victory. Shinner's knocked it down. Collier running onto it without hesitation, and then kicking a very high ball up in the direction of half forward. Now there's a sign. Williamstown with 3 at the contest straight away. Stringer did really well, got his hands free. McCallum was tackling him. Madden couldn't handle it cleanly, and it goes out. But Williamstown with 3 at the drop of the ball straight away. That presents a really impressive statement early on in the term.
So the winner of this game to play the loser of tomorrow's first qualifying final between Casey and Werribee. Next week down at Casey Fields. Hill looking to run on the ball, just paddling in front of him. Crow hot on his hammer. Crow did well, but Hill kept his feet. Just a little handball across. Too far there for Woods. Trying to find some space. Schulz just jumping in over the top. Ladson just pushing the pack over. And the umpire will bounce top of 50. So, a little bit of a stalemate here. Good crowd in. Imagine a few Essendon supporters just going to be making their way across to the MCG. Just seeing a bit of VFL action, which is great. Ball inside, 50 off the pack. Conway roved it beautifully. The ball drifting across the face, though. The margin 31, early stages, final quarter.
Reece, I think it'd be a fair comment to say that they need the first 2 goals of the last quarter, Bendigo.
Yeah, look, they do. They just need to get some score, and they need some runners, though. They just haven't got any runners around.
Shinner's kick up in the stringer direction. He was caught behind, so he did the discipline thing and knocked it away from McCallum. Lloyd kicks it up the line. Good attempt at the mark by Strubens. Nicely done by Charleston. Ducking underneath the tackle, Witkowski to Goods to Lockwood. Smashes the ball forward without much forethought. Schulz had it momentarily. Roberts trying to shepherd the path for the ball, really, than attacking the football. And now Schulz gets on the end of the handball. Got it from Shinners. Stringer had a man short, decided to go longer. That's probably the way they need to go, and it was a correct decision to do that. They've got it all the way up to Madden at half forward. He looks for the leading player in Little, and he's got him. And it's going to need his very best kick from this spot.
You don't see too many goals kicked from here, and one of the reasons is that that's a cricket wicket area, the practice wicket area, where you come off the softer stuff onto some harder wicket area, and it gets a bit slippery on there, so it needs to be well balanced. But if anyone can do it, Matt Little is the man.
It's in the hands of the best person in the team. Matt Little starts it right and hangs it out there, and so often you see that from that angle. It is almost like the Bermuda Triangle of goal kicking here at Port Melbourne. As Roy said, you don't see too many converted from there.
McNamara to bring the ball back in. Margin back to what it was at 3/4 time. Sure where to go, McNamara, so he just bombs it long into the middle of the ground, but he's turned it over. Schulz having a good quarter, trying to lift his team. Josh Freezer long inside the 50. Well, almost the one-hander. Working hard here is Lloyd, working around his body and putting it through. Sam Lloyd bobs up for his first goal of today. And the margin continues to close. One against the flow of play, David Rees-Jones, and that's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, and I think Peter German would be pretty disappointed. You see the long bomb come in, and there's just a lot of Williamstown players just basically standing around there like witches' hats there at the moment, but no real intensity at the ball, and that was a terrific effort there. The young fellow Lloyd, and got his reward.
So the 22-year-old keeps the flame flickering for Bendigo. There's the first of those 2 goals we were talking about. Can they follow up? Because if they do, all of a sudden there'll be a bit of doubt in that man's mind and a bit of doubt in the 23 players that he's in charge of.
Yeah, just a few nervous little twitches will start happening. If they can get a quick one now, it'll be fantastic.
Good bounce from umpire Jared Waite. Wall down to Jolly, gets the centre clearance. Collier's onto it immediately, and they're onto him. Goods was the tackler. He just did get a foot to adjust, and Crowd finishes up in the hands of Jolly. He's got men on. Conway wheels around and kicks it to Goods, who just followed up down from the centre square after being involved in the first phase of that play, and that's good spotting from Conway.
And the big fella Tom Hill, just a terrific chase and tackle to turn the ball over. And once the ball turns over in modern football, normally heads back down the other end pretty quickly, which it has this time.
So this to restore the normal pulse rate for Williamstown after Lloyd kicked that early goal. If the reply is to come, it's always better that it comes very quickly and just reinforces the doubts in the opposition's mind. And Brett Goods has come up with a shocker.
Yeah, sliced it off the boot, but look, he was a player who really did do the damage in that second quarter when they looked like they were down and out, and they looked like they had no spark, and Brett Goods was the man who provided the spark that got Williamstown going.
Lloyd and Lockwood here, been an intriguing battle. Lloyd just getting there right near the line. He did tap it to the line. The umpire says we'll throw it in.
Lucky.
Well, he did get a hand to it.
Just trying to keep it moving, according to the umpire.
Yep, towards the boundary line, Pete.
And over.
The ball's thrown back in. Well, can they make them pay here? Bendigo. Charleston just led to the footy by Collier. Carr there, ball spilling free. Going in head first, both of those players. Moles was hovering over it. He has to go back in and get it. It's near the line. It's going to be thrown in again.
Interesting there, Reece. You saw 3 or 4 examples of the players now being very aware of a player putting his head over the football, and no one will charge at him.
No, not like the old days.
Jacob Thompson just trying to urge his team on. Right, some encouragement. There's a bit of grappling there. Just call that a 0-0 draw. Trying to come through as Shinners had to bend. Charleston there, just off the side of his boot. Couldn't get anything on it. McCallum did to Jolly. Well done as he puts the ball up over the top. That's okay as well. Wall takes the mark. Centre wing, he just wants to put it in long. 2-on-2 contest, and wow, that was magnificent work. Roberts, long ball up to the 50. Bobbling around, Williams just leaves it for his teammate. Handball over the top, Peoples just throws it onto the boot. Well, just working under the ball there was Thompson. Oh, that was nicely done too. Through the middle of the ground, just turned over again. This could favour Madden if he can just pick it up. He can't. Well done, Witkowski, to win that race. Now he's forced to lay the tackle, and the umpire will come in and bounce.
And we've just seen a couple of occasions today, David Rees-Jones, yes, where the rap's on him.
He does show something, doesn't he? And doesn't look out of place against the men here. He's still playing in the TAC Cup, but he's right at home out here.
Well, he's 18 years of age, but he hasn't got an 18-year-old's body too, so he's going to come to hand pretty quickly. Here's Greenwood tumbling the ball forward, up in the direction of half forward. Was it a little slick handball? It was an illegal handball, according to the umpire. Matthew Panos, the man, just trying to flick it out. And he was hopeful that he might have, because he was on the other side of the umpire, just wringing that left wrist. It's Freezer who takes the free kick. Schultz. And now Collins. Bagasia comes and occupies the mark. Bit of shoving going on by Dusha. Charleston had a fresh air swing.
Oh, that's fair enough.
And holding the ball.
He didn't get his foot to the ball, so that's fair enough.
And there is the chase by Madden. Did he tackle him, though?
Oh, I think he had a...
I'm not sure he tackled him. I think he just pushed him more than anything. Anyway, they might make a case that things haven't gone their way a couple of times today. Madden, what an individual effort this is to keep things alive. Justin Madden has made it 2 goals at the start of the term for Bendigo. All of a sudden, the margin is back to 19 points, and this is very doable.
And he was just outside his kicking range, and I think he was going to kick, he got a little bit too close to the man on the mark, or whether that was planned to run around him.
I think he was trying to do the runner out there, but he just ran into trouble.
Yeah, we see the free kick, which I think he might be right there, Pete. He didn't have a handful of jumpers, so he's a little bit lucky to get that, but he's able to run around the man on the mark and get inside 50, and that's a terrific finish. He's played well today. He's been a bit of a lone hand up there with Matthew Little injured. He's done a good job.
Phil, I'm not sure how good you are at repairing walkie-talkies, but I think Peter German might need a new one from that replay we've just seen. No wonder he's angry.
Well, I'll tell you what, he was fired up at half-time. He was pretty calm at three-quarter. You know, I reckon this is a remarkable performance by Bendigo. I mean, look, I know Williamstown has only AFL players virtually, and the other, so it's fairly comparable in that sense. But, you know, when you look at Little being injured, Lonigan has just walked down now, of course, got a crook ankle, and I think Kavanagh's just come out of the rooms too, so he hasn't been in action as well. It's a pretty fair effort when you got Crow coming in, who's only hardly played all year. They've had a dip, haven't they? Tell you what, one more goal, and the game suddenly comes alive.
Thank you, Phil, as Roberts goes long inside the 50. Anastasio just being held off the footy. Bendigo defence under all sorts of pressure.
Oh.
Conway off the ground. One behind. Well, the margin sits at 20. 10 minutes into the final quarter. It is a great effort considering last week they needed that win over Box Hill to get them into the finals in the first place. So they've had a real dip today. Ball into the middle of the ground. It was a long kick. Not terribly effective, though. Jolly got hands to it. Crow hovering over the top of him. Now needs to go in and get it again. Good tackle put on by Fogarty. And we'll have another bounce.
Yeah, and one of the problems is you get to that 5 goals at three-quarter time lead and you think things are in hand and you just take the foot off the pedal a little bit And as you say, full credit to Bendigo. They're going to fight this match right out.
20-point lead to Box Hill over Sandringham in that elimination final. Is trying to push through. Anastasio at the bottom of this pack. Umpire holds for a long time and then will bounce.
Might have been a little fortunate there because he did dive on the ball a second time, Anastasio. Hayden Skipworth and colleagues looking a little nervous, but this is still manageable. It is 20 points. Conway, I had him down for 4 behinds after that last hack off the ground. Who's going to gather this ball in the middle of the ground? Important ball here, and Thompson did it well. Used the big, strong body, kicks it forward. Nicely done by Witkowski. And 50 for Madden. He just ran straight over the mark.
He ran straight over the mark. And
can't afford to do that. 11 kicks, no handballs, and 4 behinds from our statistician Paul Field for Dylan Conway. But that just eases the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It gives Williamstown a chance to pump the ball inside 50. And
he's going to have to go long by the look of it. He doesn't really have a short target. Kicks it up and says have a jump. And only one person did. And unfortunately for Hill, he had the sun in his eyes. And he flicked it up. Crow, Strubens went without it the first time. Little handball went behind Lloyd. Now Hill with an opportunity, gives it to Roberts. Perfect tackle. He's got nowhere to go. That had to be holding the ball. The modern-day player is so adept at that tackle of just pinning one arm.
Well, we saw West Coast do it a bit last night as well. As this ball going long up to centre wing, Madden hopelessly outnumbered there. But here's Collier, just needs to bounce off the tacklers. Carr almost got him. Little handball, okay. Thompson just puts it up towards 50. Not the greatest of options. McNamara waiting there. And just being told by Ben Jolly to slow things down. Jolly providing the short option. McNamara will be ignoring that as he goes up to centre wing. Front spot, mark taken. Thompson, little handball over the top. Lloyd going in short, it's okay.
He can kick the ball, Shinners. He is a big kick, and I'd be going back and having a shot if I was him. Well, this will be interesting.
Trent Shinners only playing down back. Can he lift them? So influential in the first quarter.
2 or 3 players doing the cramp stretch here, so fatigue really becoming a part of this game.
Trent Shinners will load up. It's a big ball. It's just missing one behind. He did get the distance. Margin 19-13 played in the final term. Sudden death elimination final here on Grandstand.
They're giving it their best shot, Bendigo. They know there's no tomorrow unless they can overtake Williamstown here. Short kick comes in, and young Greenwood, boy from Vermont originally, represented Vic Metro at the Under-18 Championships last year. Very good on both sides of his body. Jolly over the top. McNamara takes it and goes. Up to the wing. Roberts the target. Works his way between a couple, but didn't get his hands up. This man's been good, Thompson.
Yep.
And he's done what the coach has asked too a couple of times in this last quarter, just taking it on. Kicks inside the 50, and Shinners again. Well, hopefully he's learned something from the previous kick, because he's almost kicking from the divot, and he's a bit closer in this time.
Yeah, well, it was a mismatch then, and I don't know where James Wall got to, but Charleston had to mark here Shinners, and he was able to just shove him aside and take a pretty easy mark.
So Shinners needing to just start it a little bit right of where he did last time. What a massive kick this is in the scheme of Bendigo's season. Trent Shinners does start it right, and it doesn't come back, so he's missed one either side. Phil Cleary, those 2 misses from Shinners from long range could prove to be very critical in the final assessment.
Without any shadow of a doubt, Peter, but gee, on the other hand, he has been fantastic, hasn't he? Gone from the back half, gone into the ruck. You know, as I said earlier, his uncle's played for Dandenong, and he played in the Premiership and might have had a little dip in the AFL as well, the Shinners brothers. Tough Dandenong players. I love the way he goes about his footy, David. I reckon he's got a bit of talent, hasn't he?
Oh, he's good. He is a goer. He's an old-fashioned defender when he plays back there. He runs straight and hard. We saw him an old-fashioned shirt front in the first quarter. He really made his presence felt out there, and he's a big man, and lets people know he's out there. He's a good player, Shinners. I like him.
8 marks for Shinners. This is Sam Lloyd. He's already kicked a goal in this final quarter. This will make things real interesting. Steps in from 48. Ball on the way. He's got it.
2 goals the difference.
Have a look out here. There's a glimmer of hope. A lot of players are getting around him. There's a bit of excitement happening here. And, you know, when that happens, anything can happen. I mean, you just have to be on your mark. Get the ball, keep moving it forward. Players are getting tired now. I mean, it's been a pretty warm day, probably one of the warmest days we've had for a long time. And this is a great effort by an undermanned Bendigo team who had a terrific first quarter. They had a real crack. And then Williamstown took over. Obviously, their class and ability took over. But they haven't given up all day, Bendigo. They've been fantastic.
And that man has brought them to this point. Sam Lloyd, 2 goals in this final quarter. Elimination final. The winner to play the loser of the first qualifying final, either Casey or Werribee, down at Casey Fields. As again they get the centre clearance. Ball going forward. Nick Singh forced to lay the tackle. There's Goods, can't get hands on it. Players diving in on top. Just need to release. Lockwood wrapped up in the tackle by Stringer, and the umpire will bounce. Oh, another goal here. Remember, 16 minutes into this final quarter. Quarters have gone around the 30-minute mark. Tap to ground. McCullum just going short. Cool in a crisis. He finds Panos working up the ground. The kick up towards half forward is good. Just leading their players to the ball. Conway will just want to load up inside the 50. One-on-one contest. Good work at the front there by Collins. Almost brought down by Roberts. He went to the line. That was his own option, but it's kept in anyway. McCullum has it taken off his hands. Well, we're all thinking deliberate,
well,
but
McCullum had his hands in the air. He was appealing for the free kick, and it didn't go out.
New walkie-talkie provided to Peter German. You can just see that in that shot. Putt getting the tap down. They try and clear it now, and we've got ourselves a high tackle, and it'll go Williamstown's way. To that man on your screen, Brett Goods. Let's have a look at it. And just a little high, Sam Vale.
He's reached for the head, and the umpire, and it was a non-controlling umpire too, who fell for that one.
So Brett Goods, 18 minutes into this final quarter, 2 goals today, 22 possessions. Been a great performance. Brought them back into the game in the second quarter.
Well, this could split the middle, or it could go out on the full. You never know with Brett Goods.
Here he goes. His kick just needs to straighten. It doesn't.
An important point.
It is a handy point. 76 plays 63, 18 minutes into the final quarter.
Phil, in the scheme of things, that was a very big call from the umpire.
Well, I'm with you in your passion earlier, but I'm a long way from it. But I figured Goods took them on 3 times, and I can't see the final, but it was a free kick for the last bit of tackling or the first. I mean, look to me, and the umpire who gave the free was a mile away.
Collins handballs towards the boundary line. McCallum looks inside. Crow was away to it, the veteran. Hasn't had much game time this year, and he has been good.
He's been good.
Collier has been prepared to take them on. Thompson will want his left foot. He's not able to play on as quickly as he would have liked. Decides to come up the line to Freezer. He'll want his left foot as well. Thompson's continued to run. Ticking up towards time on in this cutthroat elimination final. Freezer kicks to a massive humanity out there on the wing. Charleston to Jolly, returns the favour. And the youngster stops on a 5-cent piece and then kicks it long. Big fly from Panos. At the back of the pack, Williams does well. Collier's got Crow on in the middle. He runs to the 40 and meets it without hesitation. He kicks the half forward. It's a touch ball though. Madden, opposed to about 4, will do well to lock this in. Is he going to ping him? That is really good from Madden. He was surrounded by blue and gold jumpers, and he's just kept it in the attacking zone for Bendigo.
Yeah, just a little bit unlucky. That ball was touched coming forward to him.
Important possession here over the top. Thompson cleared by Moles into the middle of the ground. The one-on-one at the back. Freezer takes the mark.
Been good today.
Wants to get it moving on. In 2 minds. Goes long inside the 50. A push out, a nudge out. Is it going to be paid? Thompson the mark.
I reckon he's used his body very well on that occasion. He's used his hips to manoeuvre his opponent out of position. We see the ball come in. Hasn't used his arms or his hands. That's fair enough.
It's his 9th mark, 11 kicks today for Jacob Thompson. None more important than this. from outside the 50. It's a long ball.
He's got it.
Ball! They continue to come the goals. Thompson kicks his first for today. The margin just 7 points into time on in the final quarter.
Yeah, such an important centre bounce, and hasn't he been pretty good today, Thompson? And just move the ball quick. You just got in, and I mean, nothing on. Get it in long. Kick it to someone and hope for the best. And that's what they did on that occasion. I think McNamara was trying to con for the free kick there. He just got pushed off the ball a little bit too easy.
Centre clearances have been 17-8 in favour of Williamstown. Boy, do they need one here, because Bendigo has got the momentum. We said they needed the first 2 goals of the last quarter. They've got the first 4. And, in fact, they've kicked the last 5 goals of the game. Who's going to win the centre clearance here? Williamstown really jittery at the moment. Bendigo with the scent of an unlikely victory. Jolly wanting to do something about that, as the veteran so often does. Crow in the front spot. He just comes out and meets the footy out in front of Hill. And the umpire blew the whistle for a moment. I thought he was going to give 50. Crow moves it on quickly. Collier's kick. Madden runs underneath it. Witkowski judged it well. They just need to get their hands on the footy. Turnover. Lloyd, has he got men on? He's got a vacant goal square. He should have gone back and taken more time. That might be the handy behind, though, because the margin is now 1 goal, and isn't Peter German feeling it?
Oh, he is, Pete.
And, the young fella there, he really should have gone back and made sure of it, but he saw the open goal square. The thing was, he was going backwards and then took a step forward to kick, so he was off balance.
Well, here's the 2-on-1. Wall managed to pick it up off the spill, but he kicked it straight to Josh Freezer. Remember, if it's a draw, we will be playing extra time. And we'll have it all for you here on Grandstand. Thompson almost the grab. Second effort, pretty good as well. McCullum over the top of him. Players diving in from all directions. Dusha there as well. The umpire will bounce.
This is a fantastic effort by this Bendigo team. Undermanned, just pure G&D. And whichever way it goes, their coach will be very proud of them at the end of this day.
We're on 50 for Bendigo. Wall, uncontested in the ruck contest. The ball going out of bounds on the full. Turnover to the Golds. Now Schultz will be the player to run.
He shouldn't have been. Freezer should have taken the kick there.
He goes long up towards 50. Need a marking option. Get a marking option.
Terrific work by Thompson there to get his body in. I don't know whether Putt can get the distance here.
We'll wait and see. They clear out the goal square. Putt's just going to load up again. It's a long ball. He really has got onto that. And that's gone through for a behind. That's another handy behind for the Gold. The margin 5 points.
Gee, who would have thought? This is magnificent here by Bendigo. They have given their all today.
McNamara's short kick. Oh, Singh's got a fit of the fumbles. Now Stringer.
That ball had stayed in.
Oh, he was away, and it's just trickled over the line. No wonder Peter German is like a seagull on a hot tin roof in the coach's box. Could it be finals heartbreak for Williamstown again? Bendigo with all the momentum. Shallow throw in. Shinner's down to Collier. He's wrapped up by McCallum. Nothing doing, stalemate bounce.
Well, Reece, this is where them winning the ruck contest is coming into effect, really, because they've got the crummers now.
Yep, and look, they're just having a real crack, and this has been an amazing comeback here by Bendigo, and Williamstown, if they get beat here.
Moles, they get it up the line, knocked away by Bagasia, but it's Bendigo with the numbers. Collins got it from Vale. Peoples had to wait underneath it. Arches the back, runs away, kicks inside the 50. Roving, Struben snapping inaccurately, but the good thing is it's not out on the full, it stays there. Phil, this has been a remarkable effort by this Bendigo team. You wouldn't have backed them with someone else's money at three-quarter time.
Absolutely stunning on the bench. I reckon they think they're going to win the game. And what about Justin Crow's performance? Fair dinkum Peter in the back half. He has been phenomenal in the last quarter and part of the third quarter. He and Shinner's really turned the game, I reckon.
Oh, another one-on-one contest. Ladson, well done to put his body on the line. Along with Greenwood, we'll have it thrown in.
Cop one there, Gladson.
So
he's tough though, he'll keep going.
26 minutes gone. No tomorrow for the loser. Stringer just trying to work it out of the pack. Ball up to the top of the goal square. Working hard is Frost. He takes a bounce. Just needs to find someone up the line. That's where he goes. Anastasio's found that space. He's in two minds. They lock down the goal as they work it up into the middle of the ground. And that's nicely worked. Panos, half back, right in front of the coach's box. He comes up the line. They've found that space again and just going to slow it down. Witkowski, I don't think he can afford to do that. Needs to get it on. Long ball up towards the 50. Well, one for the Flyers. Peoples went early, couldn't bring it to ground. Freezer at the bottom of the pack. Umpire will come in and bounce. Time continuing to tick down. We've had 30-minute quarters throughout this match. The margin is just 5 points.
29 minutes, 31 and 29 almost the quarters so far. So there's a bit of time left for Bendigo. Goods to Wall, inside 50. Who's going to come up with it? An important ball here. Panos, little handball out. Now Hill under pressure.
Throw.
And a throw, so it's going to be a Bendigo kick. Are they able to work it quickly out of defence? It's going to be Williams who will have it.
They need to go straight up the corridor. If there's nothing on wide, go straight up the corridor.
There is one on wide. Schultz. Now, what's he got? He's got 2-on-2 in front of him. Kick was good. Drew the man. Peoples has got it. They're out here. It's taken by McPhee. Moves it on quickly. The kick is wide inside 50. Putt flew. Just couldn't wrap his hands around the footy. Lloyd trying to keep it in with Madden in close attendance as well. And it'll be thrown back into play.
Putty needed to get his hands out in front of himself there, and his reach would have been a huge advantage.
Williamstown defenders will be exceptionally nervous at the moment. They can't afford to give away a free kick. They need to get their hands on the footy. McNamara does that. Charleston's kick was smothered. McPhee gets in over the top. It's still alive. McPhee somehow kept it alive, and then he just didn't have anywhere to go. So we're going to have a bounce.
These
52
players
metres out.
are out on their feet at the moment. They have given their all from both teams. What a terrific contest.
It certainly is, Reece. Wall going up for the ruck contest. Here's Jolly, just tied in on the boundary line. A kick in hope more than anything else. Need a crummer now. Ball on the deck. McPhee brought down in the tackle. Still got a hold of it. In fact, it's not McPhee, it's Peoples. And the umpire will come in and bounce.
Good, sensible umpiring.
Yep.
Certainly is.
This clearance is important.
Right near the boundary line. The players can't go there. Shinners put up the knee. It'll be a free kick. It'll go Williamstown's way. As time is taken.
He's taken
because
the wind out of his sails. And
have a look here at Wall. Just caught one right in the bread basket. And he's going to take a bit of time to get up here. Now, the umpire has called a halt to play.
Well, he should give the ball to someone else. Keep the ball, keep the play going.
It's more a matter of whether he'll actually be able to get up under his own steam, Reece, because if the stretcher comes out, the game has to be stopped anyway.
He's just winded.
Hopefully that's all it is. He hasn't got a jumper full of broken ribs, but I think he's okay. He's a tough customer, James Wall.
Certainly is. So he gets back up. Now it gives Bendigo a chance to reset defensively. So James Wall. We look to go backwards, no.
Should be told to play on.
Yep.
He is now. He goes in short. He's checking
You
here.
just need to get man on man. Everyone needs to grab hold of a player.
McCallum just slowing things down. He goes up towards the boundary line, up towards the 50. Mark one-on-one. Umpire, you could hear the call in the background running it over his freezer. Can't be much time left. Bendigo need to travel the length of the ground. This is the sudden death elimination final. The meeting with either Casey or Werribee to come. Third man up goes Bendigo's way. Here's Brodie Moles, though, putting the ball inside the 50. It's touched again. So we're going to have to play on. Quick kick out of the pack. Here's a behind margin. Now one straight kick.
One last roll of the dice, perhaps, for Bendigo. The short kick will come into Collier. It's missed him. Now Vespremi can put it beyond doubt. Oh, big turnover. That might just about do it. And the reaction of the Williamstown player says that as well. At the 30-minute mark, Peter German breathes a sigh of relief, and Hayden Skipworth must be just ruining what might have been an errant kick out. Collier couldn't mark it, and the look on their faces says it all.
Yeah, and it just wasn't the kick either. You know, unless you've got a player who's 10 metres on his own, you just got to go long up the middle. Use the corridor. They need to get the ball down the other end of the ground to score a goal. And while Peter German's breathed a sigh of relief, he's not a very happy man with this last quarter, and I think he'll be tearing strips off a few players.
That is their first goal since the 21-minute mark of the third quarter, so more than a quarter of footy, and it's given them some breathing space.
Can Bendigo come up with the answer? They'll have to do it in a hurry. Shinners again doing the ruck work. Collier just bobbles around. You want to make up for that missed mark. Now they've got an opportunity. This ball having to go into space. Charleston being led to the footy by Lloyd. He's on centre wing. He wants to keep it moving. He does keep it moving. Another 2-on-1. Williamstown players spoil one another. Goods is there, ridden into, working it out. Putt just finding a teammate in Stringer. Here's Madden. He's out of position. It's over the line. We'll have it thrown in. 32 minutes this final quarter. Time continuing to tick down. They need a goal right now. Ball thrown back in. Front position, Shinners. Collier can run onto this. Collier around his body. It's out of bounds on the full. Another turnover. I think Bendigo are safe now.
Yeah, Williamstown with that two-goal
Williamstown
lead.
are safe. Not Bendigo.
Yeah.
Look, it's been a brave effort by Bendigo. They've been fantastic, and it's hard not to have sort of been slightly biased, I suppose, in this last quarter. Such has been their effort. They've been very, very brave.
Umpires found a kick here to Shinners. Unrealistic attempt by Hill. He's put it into the pocket. And Panos is going to finish up with a free kick. And all they need to do now is just get it through a set of hands, and that'll be it. It's probably enough already. 33 minutes nearly in this last quarter. Hill will jump. Crow will jump. Hill marks. Williamstown wins. But only after a few heart flutters in the last quarter. Peter German says, thank goodness that's all over. Bendigo fights bravely and gets back to within a kick. But it's Williamstown who lives on. Bendigo bows out in 2012, but they bow out with their heads held high.
They certainly do. They can be very proud of themselves. And Williamstown, well, we said beforehand, you know, whether they could go all the way on today's performance, I don't think they'll get past the next hurdle. But look, it's just been a terrific effort by Bendigo just to tough it out. Look, they really went hard in that first quarter. They come out all guns blazing. It was just a brave effort, and they can be proud of themselves. They needed, you know, Williamstown in that second after quarter time, they needed their leaders to stand up. Ben Jolly was good. Goods was fantastic, and, you know, they got themselves in front, but they never lay down Bendigo. They were fantastic, and they had tries all over the ground.
And one of them for Williamstown, Brett Goods today, is with Phil Cleary.
Well, Brett, you played in two flags, 08-09, and premierships are pretty special. Tight games are something else, though, too, aren't they? When it gets down the wire and you could just lose it on the death knell.
Oh, mate, I think that's how the VFL comps is, how good it is and even it is this year. The final series is going to be a good 4 weeks of footy, I think. Teams are pretty even across the board, and I think we've shown in the last 6 weeks we can win those close ones, and today we've certainly done that again.
Look, you played in a side with a half a lineman at the Roosters, North Ballarat, and here you are today going in with, I think, about 5 players from the AFL. So it's a real VFL component game, isn't it, today?
Yeah, and look, mate, I know the Willie boys are certainly happy to come step up and play that footy. The Twos are undefeated all year, mate. We've got plenty of depth in that side, and the boys today showed that they can play VFL senior finals footy. So.
And you notice the game looked like players were really tired at the end. It just slowed up a bit. It became a bit of the old Sam Kekovich used to say trench warfare.
Yeah, and you know, I think we both want to play on footy, but I think in the end it just comes down to down the line old sort of footy where contest. So you know, we got it done. So we're happy to play that footy if we win.
Well done, Brett. It's been a great career you've had to date anyway. All the best to you in the finals.
Thanks, Phil. Cheers, guys.
Who knows? Another premiership maybe for Brett Goods, and Bendigo, well, they'll be a disappointed lot. It goes without saying, but Rick Ladson and his team can really hold their heads high after that comeback, because At 30 points down at three-quarter time, and the way the game was going, you really wouldn't have given them too much hope at all. But for them to get within a goal, undermanned, they lost their best player early in the game in Lonergan. They have done a remarkable job, and credit to them.
Yeah, look, they were fantastic, and they, you know, it's just that never say die attitude, and they didn't give in at all. They could have thrown the towel in. They had a team running over the top of them at times, but they just hung in there. And look, there was some poor shots of goal by the Werribee team, but they hung in there. And towards the end, you know, Bendigo had every chance to win the game, and you know, they're just a player or two short at the end, and just a brave effort. And it just goes to show finals football is fantastic. It's just never say die, just go to the end, and you know, what a fantastic game this was.
And who knows, with that turnover where Collier didn't mark and Vespremi kicked the goal, that happened after 30 minutes. There were another 3 minutes after that, so it's a game of ifs and buts, isn't it?
Yeah, look, and you can look back and you can't blame individuals or whatever the case is. You know, I mean, it was a good fight back by Williamstown after quarter time. You've got to give them credit, and Brett Goods was the man who in that second quarter who really did stand up, kicked a couple of goals. He was fantastic.
All right, let's hear the song, and hopefully we'll hear from the coach in a moment.
Williamstown, we play beside the sea. All for one and one for all, we strive for victory. There's not a game that we can win together, we stand tall. The siren sounds, we stand our ground, we're Seagulls one and all. Stand and deliver, we'll fight and not give in. We want it bad, so we're glad we'll push until we win. Pop, 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 Seagulls show the courage.